Can Leon Bailey spark in Serie A? This is a groundbreaking news. However, what is exciting about this is that Leon Bailey is yet again in the news feed. And I am wondering if he's a Massacre fan. Because Bailey, your name the on top of the convo. Your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. A quote written by Jim Rohn as it links directly to the former Aston Villa winger and current Jamaican international in Leon Bailey as news breaks the ground that he is on the verge to join AS Roma. People, greetings and welcome to another episode on Premier 7. It's your host yet again, Ryan Nelson, with excited news as it relates to our own Jamaican player in Leon Bailey. The topic, as you can see on the screen, is from Villa to Roma. Can Leon Bailey spark in Serie A? Do you believe that he can? Well, here's the news by Fabrizio Romano. As he states, here we go. AS Roma agreed deal to sign Leon Bailey on loan from Aston Villa. Bailey only wanted Roma as priority, as reported last week. Deal now agreed. In principle, loan fee around 2 to 3 million euros plus 22 million euros by option clause, not mandatory. AS Roma will also cover the salary. Rate the signings from 1 to 10. Medical authorization expected next. And I think the medicals will be done tomorrow on the 19th, whereas Leon Bailey will fly over there in Italy. People, I just want to say that it's for me to share the news, but before I dive into more details on the player, I want to know what your thoughts are. Do you think it will be a good move for Leon Bailey? Well, I mean, drop your comments from now. And as I'm speaking about comments, I just want to point across that Premier 7 is on the verge of hitting 3,000 subscribers. So if you're new, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And if you are already a subscriber, then you know what to do. So there is an article as well about Leon Bailey, a 1 minute article that you can read the player. All of the details can be found by clicking the link in the video description. All right, so let's talk about the Roma move, what's happening. So as you would have understood that Fabrizio Romano has dropped the news that Leon Bailey is an here we go. You know, at Aston Villa, Leon Bailey had a lot of great moments of brilliance, but never fully became a consistent starter. Now, at 28 years old, he is entering his prime years. Roma represents both a fresh start and a big challenge because when you're playing in Italy, it is a place of tactics. You have to be tactically disciplined, and it's a battlefield, whereas you can have decent defenders playing against you. In that sense, for Leon Bailey, I think it would be a challenge, but it can be a challenge that is a blessing for him because World Cup is just around the corner. And I think with him being in a system, whereas it will be for him to be aware of his opposition teams from a defensive perspective, then it could boost his IQ, whereas he will then be able to make good moves on and off the ball, capitalizing on his chances and bring such to the Jamaica men's national team. I mean, as I've mentioned earlier, Leon Bailey at Aston Villa, it wasn't a bad move at the time, but because of injuries, because of inconsistency, not being able to start game in, game out, it kind of put his career on a up and down. And currently at 28 years old, this is a time for him to start making waves. It is not like goalkeepers who can play all the way up in their 40s, or let's say their prime hits in the 30s. For players like Leon Bailey, their prime age is around this time, 28, 29, let's say 30 as well. All right, so I am a fan of tactics. So how would Leon Bailey tactically fit at Roma? So Roma is a big club in Italy, and the system that he have to think about is one that is tactically disciplined but also have wit. So Bailey is at his best cutting from the right wing onto his strong left foot. We saw that several times against opposition teams in the Premier League, whereas he scored some blistering goals, some dangerous goals that, lift the roof not only at Aston Villa but also at other venues. And I think this is something that he can bring to um his possible club in AS Roma. But here's a twist. Roma often rotates their wide men. Glenn Bill is deployed on the left hand side. Will he adapt quickly? I think that is something that he should think about. I mean, he also mentioned that he only wanted Roma, so I think he would have done some research or should have been doing some research on why he would like to go to Roma. Is it for game time? I think yes. Is it because he wants to improve on his IQ? That could be another thing. Is Leon Bailey a person who can adapt quick enough? I think he can, but because of his injuries, it doesn't seem like that's a possibility on a regular occasion. But either way, his pace, directness, and ability can stretch defense lines, giving Roma that weapon that they have been lacked in recent seasons. Leon Bailey on the left hand side, I think it can be something that he can develop swings with some in swing crosses to his teammate, causing problems for his opposition team. Because I think for Leon Bailey, he has a very good left foot. Sometimes he's inconsistent, but tactically, it can let him become more diverse because he is known for cutting in on the left foot and shooting. That is cutting on the inside and shooting. But this could improve his game because let's say for Jamaica, if Jamaica should get in a Mason Greenwood in the September window, then I think Mason Greenwood would own the right hand side and Bailey would have to play on the left, or tactically he would have to come from the bench. So if Leon Bailey plays well in a Roma system, then who knows? He may be playing on the left wing side for the national team. All right. So the thing is now, apart from the challenges, what are the potential benefits of the move? Let me just list four with little details. A fresh start in Serie A, away from the intense Premier League spotlight, that would be advantage for Leon Bailey. A bigger role, can he manage the pressure, or does he want to become that person now who will put himself as a person in the spotlight based on pressure? Because when he plays for Jamaica, he's always under pressure. So getting a bigger role at Roma, then it is something that he will be used to or wants to be used to. So sometimes it can be something psychologically for the player, whereas psychologically he wants to make the move because he believes that, hey, I want to go to the World Cup and it will be a bigger pressure in stage for me. So why not take on some pressure at Roma from this stage? Also, tactical growth. Serie A is known for teaching structure and game intelligence. I mentioned IQ about 2 to 3 times before I reach this point. So for Leon Bailey, I think he's a very creative player, but he needs to work on his discipline. And I think he isn't bad in that case, but to think about how to tactically destroy opposition teams, he would need to improve. And I think a move to Roma could be a great thing. A boost for Jamaica, that is the national team, as a confident Leon Bailey is a good news for the Reggae Boys. He's not the best for Jamaica, and I think I would love to see some improvements from him in that case because he's a talisman, but he's not living up to the expectation. And can this be the big turning point for Bailey? Do you believe? Do you don't believe? Drop your comments, drop your thumbs up, drop your likes. All right. No. Possible drawbacks and risk for Leon Bailey. Is it too risky for him to go right now to Roma? I think it's a good move to some extent, but where there are possibilities, there can be drawbacks. So competition for places. Roma have other attacking options. He must earn a spot. And in any team, I think you have to earn your spot. If you're not good enough, then why being in a big team? Adaptation. Italian football is tactical and demanding. it could take time. Well, I mean, there are other players who went to Italy and they became instant stars, like a Scott McTominay. I think it's all about Leon Bailey have to work on his physicality, but not the pace because it's very quick. But he has to work on his physicality. I don't think the language will be a big issue. If it is, then he will be having a drawback in that case. But one of the major concerns is adaptation based on the fact that he would have to improve his fitness because fitness concern is that Leon Bailey has an injury record that follows him right across his time at Aston Villa. And positional fit, if he's forced away from his preferred right hand side, then his impact can lead to a dip. But remember, the flashback is that Leon Bailey only wanted to play for Roma, so he gets his move possibly. So let's see what the potential outcome will be. Now, impact on Jamaica's World Cup qualification. Here's where it gets interested, people. For Jamaicans, now we understand that World Cup qualifiers will kick off in September. That is the final round or third round. So if Bailey gets minutes at Roma and finds form, we are dying to see the sharpness from him. And I think he improved before the later part of the competition that Jamaica played, whereas we were knocked out, at the Gold Cup stage. But before that, he was playing quite decent. He was sharp here and there. So we need for him to be sharper based on his arrival playing in the team and more confident for the Jamaica men's national team. That being said, that could be a massive boost for the team that relies on his creativity and his pace in attack. And we need for him to be more tactically aware. So I think a move for him to Serie A is better because sometimes Leon Bailey have his head down in the ground and that doesn't help the national team going forward. On the flip side, if he struggles though for game time or fitness, it could raise a big question about how much he can contribute to the Jamaica team in the World Cup qualification. However, for Jamaica, it is truly a good push for Bailey. If he wants Roma, then he has to go and play for Roma. And we need to press on seeing him getting better time out of the spotlight a bit, but making some huge impact there. Because once that happens, then he could be a talisman for Jamaica to push us into the World Cup in 2026. We need a Bailey who is committed, and I think he is. It's just that we need him to be fully fit and more on the side of concentrating. So, people, what is your thoughts on the topic? From Villa to Roma, can Leon Bailey spark in Serie A? So, people, it's time for me to go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Remember, I want to reach the 3,000 landmark before the start of September or before the end of September to give you some more time. Let you naturally find the love to subscribe and share the content. So, people, don't forget to check out the article as well on the Premier 7 Edge website. I need your interaction there as well. So it is time for me to go though and leave you to have your own say on this video. Bye bye for now.